I will call to order the Glendale Redevelopment Agency for December 20th, 2011. We have a roll call for the Redevelopment Agency, please.
Agency members Friedman, Najarian.
Here.
Quintero.
Here.
Weaver.
Here.
Chairman Manukian.
Here, and your report.
The agenda for the December 20th, 2011 regular meeting of the Glendale Redevelopment Agency was posted on Thursday, December 15, 2011 on the bulletin board outside City Hall.
Thank you. Next at 4 is the minutes for December 13th. Is there any changes or motion to...
I'll move the minutes.
Second.
Roll call for the minutes?
Agency members Najarian.
Yes.
Quintero.
Yes.
Weaver.
Aye.
Chairman Manukian.
Yes. Next, please.
Item 5 are oral communications. Discussion is limited to items not a part of this agenda. Each speaker is allowed 5 minutes. Members of the agency may question or respond to the speaker, but there will be no debate or decision. The matter may be referred to staff through the Executive Director for investigation and report.
We have no cards. Next item, please.
At item 6A, Director of Community Development regarding Alex Theater quarterly report from Glendale Arts for the first quarter of fiscal year 2011-2012, July 1 to September 30th, 2011. At 6A1 is a motion to note and file the report.
Thank you. Ms. Interim City Manager?
Yes. We'll go to Elena Bolbolian from Community Development.
Good afternoon, Agency Chair Manukian and members of the agency. We're here today to present the first quarter report from Glendale Arts. As the owner of the theater, the agency receives quarterly reports from Glendale Arts on the financial status of the theater, and this report covers the period of July 1st through September 30th. The management agreement that the agency has with Glendale Arts requires them to keep reserve accounts to fund capital and maintenance projects and to underwrite any programming losses. And as of this report, all of these reserve accounts exist and have healthy balances. During this past quarter, Glendale Arts hosted 11 days of activities, which included film screening, rehearsal day, 5 business meetings, and 4 public performances. As far as their box office, they processed a total of 11,154 tickets compared to 14,250 tickets for the same period last year. Some of these tickets were purchased through their remote outlets, and the first remote outlet they launched a year ago was at the Americana at Brand, and as of this report, 14% of the tickets are purchased through that remote outlet. The next partnership that Glendale Arts will be putting together for a remote outlet location will be with Glendale Community College, where college students will be staffing the outlet at the college to sell tickets to all GCC shows and events. In total, the Alex Theater operations for this quarter saw a decrease in attendance, activity days, and realized a year-to-date operating loss of approximately $200,000. Some of these financial results were anticipated because the theater was scheduled to be closed during the summer months of July through September to make way for some improvement projects. One of those projects was a front facade restoration. Although the work was completed over the summer, the project really began 2 years ago in August of 2009, where we came before the agency to hire a historical conservator who went out and conducted field analysis of the paint and prepared a report. We came back to you with those results, and you allowed us to go forward to get bids in order to do the project. We also went to the Historic Preservation Commission, who supported the project, and in March of this year, we selected Randall McAnany to do the painting for us. The facade now more accurately reflects the theater's 1925 facade and provides a more dramatic entrance to the theater lobby. I have a few photos that I'd like to share with you at this time. So this is what the front facade looked like before the project. This is the scaffolding that went up, which is one of the reasons we had fewer events at the theater. This is Tatiana. Actually, this is one of the employees of Randall McAnany doing the restoration work based on Tatiana Thompson's report. This is a close-up. And here's the after, a daytime shot. And here's the dramatic evening shot. So you can tell this is the before again, and here's the after.
One more time. So it's mainly that, I don't want to say mainly, but a lot of the peripheral.
It extends from the sides all the way from the bottom to the top, and the molding on top. All of that was handwork. All the stencils and the molding had to come down and be placed back again. Glendale Arts is continuing to move forward with implementing their self-sufficient strategies by launching the community box office, reducing their energy costs, and developing new sales efforts to bring in some additional revenues during the slower midweek days. At this point, if you have questions, I'll take them. If you don't have any questions, I'd like to ask Barry McComb to come up here to make some parting words, because as you all know, he'll be leaving us at the end of January to go to the city of Thousand Oaks. Do you guys have any questions? No? Barry?
Short timer.
I'm sorry?
Short timer.
Short. Oh, I thought you meant to be short.
Short timer.
Well, good afternoon, Mr. Chair, members of the agency. I'm Barry McComb, the current Chief Executive of Glendale Arts. And as Elena mentioned, I have submitted my resignation effective at the end of January and have accepted a position as the Cultural Affairs Director for the City of Thousand Oaks. And I guess I want to kind of preface my decision by saying I wasn't really looking to leave, wasn't out actively submitting resumes. It was just a situation that arose, and as I looked more into it, it really was a perfect match for kind of where I want to go next, and probably what will be the final phase of my professional career. There is a chance that I will be back one more time when we bring the expansion project forth for your approval in January. But on the off chance that that doesn't happen, I did want to just take a few minutes to personally thank all the members of the agency that I've had the pleasure of working with over the last 10 plus years. Certainly the members of the city staff, in particular Jeannie Armstrong, Phil Lansafame, and most of all Elena Babolian, who have really been partners with us over all those years as we've taken on a lot of different projects at the theater, some of them restoration related, like the front facade, which was really required because of the damage that the last 18 years of sun and wind and rain had caused on it, but also on making very important technical improvements so that when we do reach that point of needing to become self-sufficient, we're really going to be prepared. I think which makes parting for me a little easier is the fact of the things we have accomplished, converting to Glendale Arts and now being able to serve as a broad-based arts organization within the community, adopting the strategic plan we have in place, which really does provide a roadmap for us to be successful in becoming self-sufficient by 2015, launching new entities such as the Glendale Pops Orchestra and the Glendale Pops Orchestra Youth Chorus, and I think even more so the expansion of the theater, which we're in the process of finishing up all of the design issues on now, and we'll be bringing back to you. But I think that by expanding and addressing a lot of the shortcomings that we've always thought backstage, lack of dressing rooms, very poor loading facilities, that the Alex Theater will finally be in a position to really be able to compete for first-class promotions. And, of course, none of that would have been possible without the assistance of the city staff and the approval of the agency. And, we've had a bit of a roller coaster from the very beginning with the Alex Theater, but hopefully we've been on the high ground more than the low ground over the last 10 years. And I just, again, would like to express my appreciation for all of your support and counsel and guidance during my time in this position. So hopefully I'll see you in January, but if not, I will think of Glendale Arts and the Alex Theater and the City of Glendale often in my new position. Thank you.
Any questions?
Yeah, just one. When did the Glendale Arts start?
2008.
Well,
Regarding the financials, I see you had no activity in August, completely zero. Is that because of the renovations?
Because
Is that
of the
when it was
closure.
done?
Yes, we knew going into this that we were going to have to shut down because of the scaffolding. We also used that opportunity to do some additional renovations inside, which Glendale Arts financed. One was we had water damage in the lobby going back several years ago. The leaks were fixed, but the ceiling never was. So since we were closed, we went ahead and put scaffolding up in the lobby during that period, and were able to restore the lobby roof as well. So we went in knowing we'd be closed for 2.5 months. The kind of good news is, once we reopened in September, our business has not only returned to normal levels, but for the month of October and the month of November, it's running over 40% higher than it was a year ago. So we've, come right back to where we wanted to find ourselves.
Because I see the variance of approximately $130,000 from last year, the same quarter is mainly for the rentals of the...
It was all the business that we had over the summer. Summertime tends to be very popular from a film shoot standpoint. And if I'm not mistaken, I think last summer we had Last Comic Standing in. And we certainly did turn business down, but we knew that was a project that had to happen, because if we didn't do it this summer, it was only going to get worse. And actually the coping across the top, which shows up in the original picture, but all of that had started to fall off, and we had to take it off because we were afraid it would fall on someone who was coming to attend a show. So it was really reaching a critical point, and that's why we decided we had to do it this summer.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions?
Barry, you are going to be sorely missed, and I don't know what we're going to do. I know Elisa will try and fill your shoes, and she's very capable, but you were very... I think a very good manager for us and a very good visionary as to what the theater could become. But just one technical question. Do we have are there any dates and evenings that the Alex is going vacant, and would it be filled but for a lower rental fee that would still generate us income, but would be less than what our typical asking price is?
Actually, we've, over the last couple of years, we've had a discount structure in place. It's much cheaper to use the theater during the weekdays, which is typically when it is dark. And we've actually come up with some special packages to where if you're going to do a smaller show and only use the main floor, then the rent is much less than if you're using the entire facility. It gets to the point, though, where if we go too low, then it winds up costing us money just to open the building because of the staffing costs that we absorb, the cost of utilities and opening it, the cost of having to clean. But you can actually, and Elisa, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the lowest rate that you can use the theater for during the week right now is like $1,750 for an evening, which is very cost competitive.
And that's pretty much our cost. I mean, anything lower would be...
With insurance and utilities and wear and tear and all those things that come into play, we're probably losing money at that. But certainly, it's important to keep the theater used. The biggest issue with us trying to keep the theater busy during the week comes down to the drive time. People tend not to want to fight traffic getting off work and going to a show during the week, so it tends to be more localized events. We do a lot of business meetings. Again, film shoots. Most of our film shoots take place during the week. So the theater is busy, but it's busy in ways that maybe is not apparent to the public passing by because they're not activities that are being listed on the marquee.
You're basically talking Monday through Thursday?
Thursday. Really Monday through Wednesday. Thursdays have become a much more active day than they were in the past. And that's not unique to the Alex. Even the venue I'm going to has the same issues of keeping the venue busy during the week.
Just want to say, that may change, like it will. How many housing units are we going to construct downtown in the next year or so? 1,700 or whatever?
And we've had some successes. On Monday nights, we have the Musical Theater Guild, which does smaller theatrical productions, and they'll draw 600-700 people on a Monday night. So they are proof that with the right programming, people are willing to come out. But Councilman Weaver is correct that once these downtown units are built, the types of people who are going to live in the urban environment are people who are going to look to come out their front door and find cultural offerings and other activities available to them without having to get in their car and drive someplace.
Get a meal and go to the Alex. That's going to happen. And one other thing, on the chance I won't be able to say it in a month, Barry, I'm the only one in here that can speak to it. I go back 15 years, and I know before my colleagues got on here what we went through with the Alex, with the leadership, which was not doing the job. And there was a lot of questions on council at the time. What was the direction of the Alex? That's all changed since you took over. And I don't know where we're going to find somebody like you out there. You've got a capable assistant. We'll be testing her out over the next few months. But, having seen, I think there was 2 before you that I dealt with. And, it takes a special kind of person. And maybe you've laid the groundwork where somebody else can come in and do it without having to invent new criteria. You have a immense background in Las Vegas and so on, so you have a wealth of talent, and I just hope that we can find somebody like that.
Well, personally, I think the talent's in-house. And
I hope so.
I've worked very hard to build up a solid staff, and that's one of the reasons that we have been successful in so many areas. And another reason that it gives me a comfort level in leaving is because I know the foundation's there, for them to continue to build on our successes as we move forward. And the City of Thousand Oaks has also made an offer that should I need to come back from time to time to still help get certain projects through to completion, that they will be supportive of that. So you won't 100% be rid of me when I first start there.
Lisa's a very outgoing young lady. I'm sure she'll do a good job, but she does have your cell phone and your email address. So.
Well, I think when the board hires the next person, when I came, I have an operations background, and the theater was in, bad need of having the operations strengthened. All of those systems are in place now, and I think the next person needs to be a fundraiser. And we do have that talent, and for us to really get to the point that the theater needs to go to be self-sufficient, there needs to be someone in the lead role that really is a community fundraiser. And hopefully that's the type of person the board will choose.
I'll enjoy Thousand Oaks.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Barry, you've done a wonderful job from the time you started, kind of hit the streets running. And not only your vision, your operational success, but I do think you brought in some very good team members, the way you've mobilized community members, so you'll be sorely missed, and congratulations on this new position, and hopefully you'll stay in touch and provide whatever guidance and vision is required.
The arts community is very small, so we'll definitely stay in close contact. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I want to wish you good luck as well. And no, that's okay. We can sit. It's no biggie. I do appreciate your operational background, actually. I have always appreciated when I see managers who are willing to go out there and do the work themselves. I always used to see you taking tickets, helping out with all aspects of the operations. That's a sign of a good manager. So I appreciate the work that you've done and wish you all the best in your new position. There is a motion to file and note the report. Is there a motion?
Moves
There's a motion, a second.
Second.
And roll call, please.
Agency members Najarian.
Yes.
Quintero.
Yes.
Weaver.
Aye.
Chairman Manukian.
Yes, thank you very much. And are there any agency member or staff comments? And I want to wish everyone happy holidays as well, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year.
Move we adjourn.
Second.
Thank you. We are adjourned.